planet has been taken, Father. The Third-Eyed King pledges eternal loyalty to your cause.
He accepted my terms.
Eventually.
Well done, daughter. Well done.
Stop it.
Why? By the look of it, you seemed content enough at the time.
I was a prisoner.
You were a warrior.
I didn't ask for it.
You didn't refuse. After my planet died, I had nothing. No one. And I thought I never would. And I was all right with that. I had a new vocation. Then I found you. And at my side, you became the fiercest woman in the galaxy. That's why I chose you to find the Soul Stone.
I'm sorry I disappointed you.
I am disappointed. But not because you didn't find it. But because you did. And you lied.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I gave you my trust! You repaid it with deceit. At least be honest about it now. I could make you tell me. You seem to know that. I never wanted to force you into anything. That's why, when you left me all those years ago, I allowed it.
You allowed it?
You haven't been under the impression you escaped. Daughter, I raised you smarter than that.
Your daughter. You didn't raise me. You kidnapped me, orphaned me, and imprisoned me. Everything I hate about myself comes from you. I stayed because you taught me I didn't deserve better.
Why did you leave?
Because I found people that showed me I did.
You had a family here, little one.
No, I didn't.
Yes. No. You just didn't care what happened to it.